हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू टेक जोन। एक बार फिर से मेरी इस नई वीडियो में आप लोगों का स्वागत है गाइस। तो आज का टॉपिक है हाउ टू इंस्टॉल मेटास्प्लॉइट इन termux। तो कैसे एक छोटे से कमांड के जरिए हम मेटास्प्लॉइट को अपने termux में इजीली इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, बिना कोई गिटहब यूज़ किए, बिना कोई लंबा चौड़ा कमांड यूज़ किए। तो इस वीडियो में हम यही जानने वाले हैं। तो इस वीडियो को पूरा देखिए गाइस, आपको पूरा प्रोसेस समझ में आएगा। और इस वीडियो में कमेंट ज़रूर कीजिएगा कि आपको ये वीडियो कैसी लगी। तो चलिए इस वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं गाइस। अगर आप मेरे चैनल पे नए आए होंगे तो लाइक सब्सक्राइब कर देना। सोशल मीडिया का लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है, वहाँ जाके हमें आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं। तो चले, तो सबसे पहले गाइस आप termux को स्टोरेज की परमिशन दे देनी होगी। अगर आप उसे स्टोरेज की परमिशन नहीं देते हैं तो उसमें जो भी पैकेजेस इंस्टॉल होंगे वो नहीं होंगे। तो स्टोरेज की परमिशन देने के लिए सिंपली termux -setup -storage ये कमांड डालते ही जब ही आप एंटर करेंगे तो do you want to continue? मैंने आगे से
YouTube has a content ID computer system. Every time you upload a new video, YouTube's content ID scans it and determines whether or not there's copyrighted music in the background. If there is, you may receive a copyright claim or a DMCA takedown notice, or worse, a copyright strike. Well, what happens if you want to deliver a speech in public and you want to record it for purposes of YouTube? What if someone shows up and plays copyrighted music in the background? Has that person stole your free speech rights? I'm Ian Corzine, your social media lawyer, and in this video, we'll answer those questions and we'll talk about, in general, background music copyright on YouTube. Okay, let's hit this. On YouTube, there are two sets of rules that protect your right as a creator, that protect your art, your videos, the music you publish to YouTube. Those two sets of rules are, first, YouTube's copyright rules, which you can find online. I'll leave a link in the description section below. And the second is your local government's rules on copyright. Generally, under either of these rules, if you use someone else's video or music or written word content without their permission, you can receive a copyright claim, a copyright strike, or worse, be sued in court for money damages. However, again, generally, you do not break these rules if you use someone else's content by accident. You didn't mean to use someone else's video or audio, but it appeared in your YouTube video, and that would not be a violation of those rules. If you use someone else's content, their video, their audio, their written word, by accident, that's called incidental use under the law. Incidental use is part of a larger concept called fair use. If you want to learn more about fair use, I made a video and you can watch it right here. So let's say you make a video about a summer party in which there's copyrighted music playing in the background. So if music is playing in the background and you didn't intend to have that music there, it just was being played by one of your friends or something, then you're not breaking the rules of incidental use, right? Well, unfortunately, and here's where you need a good social media lawyer, the answer to that question is a bit more complicated than that. Under most government laws, if there is copyrighted background music in your YouTube video, and it's short, it's like 2 to 5 seconds, and there is no evidence that you purposely tried to include that music in your YouTube video, then that would qualify as an incidental use and you would be protected by the fair use doctrine. Now, evidence that you purposely intended the copyrighted music to be in your video could be you singing along, you dancing to the music, you reacting to the music, you may be commenting or critiquing on the music. That would be evidence that you purposely included that copyrighted music in your video, and that unfortunately would result in a copyright claim, a copyright strike, or a lawsuit. But again, if you had no intent to incorporate copyrighted music in your video, you were on the street just filming and there was some copyrighted music in the background, you had no intent to have it there, then that should qualify as an incidental use and you should be safe from any repercussions. And again, if you had copyrighted music in the background of your video and you didn't intend for it to be there, let's say you were just filming on the street and there was copyrighted music in the background, that should qualify you for incidental use and you would be protected under the law of your government as a fair use. However, this is not necessarily the case with YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you right now. YouTube's Content ID system sometimes flags background music that even qualifies under government law as an incidental use, and sometimes it doesn't. There is no consistency to YouTube's practice. The bottom line is that YouTube's Content ID computer system is not sophisticated enough to be able to determine the intent for the use of background music. So sometimes it gets flagged, sometimes it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes people get copyright claims or maybe copyright strikes for background music, and sometimes they don't. Unfortunately, that is the status of the YouTube system right now. So where does that leave us with the example I talked about at the beginning of today's video? Could someone intentionally sabotage your speech, your ability to publish your public speech on YouTube by playing copyrighted music in the background? Could they steal your free speech rights merely by playing a copyrighted song in the background of your speech? The answer is yes. It is very possible that YouTube's Content ID system could pick up that background music played by that person that you didn't want to be there and issue a copyright claim or perhaps ultimately a copyright strike. Conversely, if you went to a court of law and you fought about this issue in a court of law, you likely would win because you had absolutely no intent to use this background music for your speech. Now, us creators can use this example as a cautionary tale. We have to be very careful when we're filming in public to not include in our YouTube videos background music. Otherwise, we risk copyright claims or possibly copyright strikes. We also have to be very careful about who we let in to public gatherings at which we're speaking. We have to be careful that someone doesn't sabotage our speech by playing copyrighted music in the background that's therefore incorporated in our video. If you have to film in public, make sure that background music is not prominent in the video. Oftentimes, if it's very, very quiet and you can't really hear it, YouTube's Content ID system will not pick it up. If you do film in public, your other option is to be able to remove that background music before you publish it in your video. YouTube actually has tools that allow you to remove copyrighted background music from your videos. You could replace that copyrighted background music with music from YouTube's audio library. It's really easy to use and there's a lot of choices for your background music. We as creators should make sure that we use the fair use doctrine anytime we use music in our videos. If you want more information on how to use the fair use doctrine, I made a video that you can watch right here. If you're new to the channel, come join us. I would love to see you here. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, and join us on Discord. There's a link to the Discord server in the description section below. Okay, that's enough for today. We'll see you next time.
क्या ये इंस्टॉल हुआ है? तो चलिए इसे रन करा के देख लेते हैं MS of console से. MSF console. ये कमांड लिखते हो गाइस, अगर हम एंटर करते हैं फिर आप देख सकते हो कि स्टार्टिंग मेटास्प्लॉइट फ्रेमवर्क स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. इससे हमें पता चल जाएगा कि क्या इंस्टॉल हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है. तो देख लेते हैं.
Guys, thanks for watching the video. Please like, share the video, subscribe my channel for more.